Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Eric and I like to read, and today I'm doing my May wrap up. So today I'm going to go over all the books that I read in May, and these were books that I read for prompts for the May the Force Read With You readathon, which is a readathon that I created along with Marcus. And so I'm going to be doing those, but before I get into it, I wanted to show you guys some bookmarks that I designed for Pride Month. So this is the bookmark. It just got printed today and I'm really excited to ship some of these out. So the one side says love is love in the rainbow colors, and then on the flip side it has a rainbow and it says time to slay these books with a rainbow heart at the top. I'm really excited about these, and yeah, I'm just really excited to ship them out to people and use this bookmark throughout the month of June. If you guys want to get one of these bookmarks, I'll have a link in the description down below on where to get them. And now let's get into the books I read. So I started off the month with Shadow Black by Sebastian de Castell, and this is the second book in the Spellslinger series. And I actually ended up giving this one a 5 out of 5 stars. I really liked this book. I buddy read it with my friend Amanda from her Pacific Northwest Washington life, and we both really liked this book. I think she gave it a slightly lower rating, but we both really enjoyed the book. We really enjoyed the characters and their growth throughout this book because there was so much more character development. And we both have a favorite character that just every time they come into a scene or say anything, they're just so funny. And it just, I was cracking up so many times while reading this book. I was just loving the journey that the characters were going on. It was just a really fun time. And I liked that we got to know more about some of the characters from the first book, because I found that in the first book they were interesting and they were new, but you didn't really get much backstory on them. So this one dealt a little bit more with their past, and I really enjoyed that. I thought it was a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to the next one because I didn't think I was going to like this sequel as much as I did. The first one was a decent book and I thought that I was going to feel the same about this one, but this one went above and beyond the first one, and so that makes me really excited to continue this series. So I'm really looking forward to reading more of them. I think I'm going to keep reading them with Amanda because we're having a fun time doing these buddy reads through this series. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the next time we read the third one. The next book I read was called The Hangman's Vengeance. I'll put a picture here. This book I gave a 3 out of 5 stars. It was okay. It was a book that was kind of further along in a series, and I was jumping into the series at this point. However, it can be read as a standalone, but it's essentially about a cast of characters that there are there's vampires, there's zombies, there's witches, and they're all trying to stay alive and do their own little plans here and there. Oh yeah, there's also demons. So the hangman is kind of technically a demon, and he's coming back to gain vengeance on the people that put him in hell. He wants to kill there's a demon slayer and there's an angel character, and so he wants to come back and kill them and get his vengeance on these people. And so it's all of them in different perspectives trying to survive the hangman and kind of stay out of his clutches. I feel the book was kind of all over the place, and there were some grammatical errors which always draws me out of a book no matter what. I can't stand grammatical errors. But overall it was pretty action-packed and flowed pretty smoothly, so I will give it that. And I did like that there were all sorts of different paranormal creatures, because I don't read a lot of books with lots of paranormal creatures, I guess. So it was nice to have such a wide variety all in one book. So that was good. But yeah, I don't know. I feel the plot was just this one mission, and it was split up too much. So you were following along with too many people at once. So yeah, I think that was kind of why it was down to a 3 instead of higher. Next up, I have the Tenants Wrath. And so this essentially was supposed to be following a researcher. It's a sci-fi book in the future, and this researcher, they've discovered another planet with another species that is very similar to humans, and so he's going to study them and study the way that tenants interact with their landlords. And so with the synopsis, it sounded like it was going to be kind of funny and have some sort of humor element to it, but I didn't really find that there was anything funny about this book, and I found it kind of boring because the species was so similar to Earthlings. It was just essentially learning about like people having tenant disputes with their landlords, and all these tenants were living with their landlords in the same building and having these constant disputes that were like the same thing over and over again. Like the main character goes through, I think, like 9 different living situations and repeats all the same conflicts with like little to no resolution. So it was just super frustrating to me because I was like, why am I reading this? Like it's just so repetitive. It's the same thing over and over again. And there's literally like no plot to this book. So I ended up giving it a 2 out of 5 stars just because like I was not really interested. I wanted to be interested because I really like wanted to enjoy the sci-fi book, but even like it being a sci-fi book, there was just not much to it that really drew me in. The one thing I will say that was unique about this book is that it was told in like a documentary style, and so it was kind of like cool to experience that, but at the same time there was nothing really pulling me into this book or keeping my attention, and so I powered through it, but like I don't feel like it was a great use of time. And then moving on to the TBR jar pick, which was The Lost Art of Dying for Ireland. Now, I didn't know what to expect going into this book. At first, I did enjoy it because the main character speaks in a very like comedic way, so it was funny at the beginning, but then the ending really pissed me off, and I think that there were so many better ways that this could have like been concluded. So essentially this book is about a guy who starts getting into like political rallies and things like that in college, but then one political rally kind of goes wrong, and so he goes on the run and is like hiding so that he doesn't get taken to jail. And so it's him like recounting his tale of him like finding his love for politics and like going to these political events, and then kind of what happened and why he's on the run. And so it was like interesting at the beginning, like I said, but the way that this ended was just so infuriating. I was so angry because there was something that happened at the end that definitely did not need to happen, and I just feel like, yeah, no, like anybody in their right mind would not have done what happened here. And so it just really frustrated me. Like it irked me so much. I could not stand that resolution for the book. So that like dropped its rating a lot. I was really enjoying like the comedic, funny like writing style, and then it just kind of like plummeted. And so that was unfortunate because that's another TBR jar book that I just did not enjoy. And like that's been recurring lately. I'm really hoping that my June pick is better, but yeah, so I ended up giving this a 2 out of 5 stars. Next up, I have the Ivies, and I will show it here. I had an arc of it from NetGalley, and this was actually really good. I liked this one. I ended up giving this book a 4 out of 5 stars. So this book is about a group of girls named the Ivies, and essentially they will do like anything to get into these Ivy League schools. So if that means like sabotaging somebody else's grades or blackmailing some people to advance themselves higher up than them in, say, like extracurricular activities or things that will look good on college or university applications, then they will do it. And so this thriller novel is about them trying to get into these Ivy League schools and stopping at absolutely nothing to get there. It honestly was like quite a wild ride of a book. I really enjoyed this book. I didn't really know what I was expecting going into it. I was kind of expecting like a dramatic Gossip Girl style book, and it definitely did feel like that, although like it played a lot more on the thriller aspect, and we got like a very intense plot line thrown in, so I was like really enjoying that. But yeah, I really enjoyed this book. It's hard for me to say more about it because I don't want to give anything away. I feel like you should read this book yourself so that you can experience the drama, the thrills, and yeah, just find out what happens. So those were the 5 books that successfully helped me complete all the prompts on the light side, which makes me a master of the order. So yes, I succeeded. Now, I originally had a goal of reading 7 books. I did read 7 books, but I did not read the next 2 books that like I said I was going to read. Those ones kind of got pushed aside because they were a lot bigger. So what I did do is, okay, wait for it guys, this is it. The moment you have all been waiting for. I, drumroll, finished Mannathorns Key. This book has been so hard to get through, and this is my other TBR jar pick that like I've just been struggling to finish reading. I finally finished it, guys. I did it. And yeah, so I'm still giving it like a 2.5 out of 5 because it was so hard to get through, and I literally had to do it like a chapter a day. Although near the end, like I started pushing through and reading multiple chapters. But yeah, this is the book that was all over the place with the characters. Like I don't even know who the main characters are. I kind of have a grasp on who the main characters are now that the book is done. And I will say that the last couple chapters got like a little more actiony, I guess. And things like were starting to come together, kind of. Still not a lot of resolution. Mind you, this is only the first in a series. I will not be continuing this series, so yeah. But yeah, I finished it. I did it. So this one I'm going to be putting on the pile to go to the used bookstore because I don't want it anymore. But yeah, I'm just proud of the fact that I got through it. I did not DNF it. I finished the book. And yeah, 2.5. And the last book that I read in the month of May was recommended to me by Marcus, and we actually bought this whole box set recently, and that was Murderbot. So I read the first book in the Murderbot series, and this one's called All Systems Red. This was a very short book, like they're all kind of like novellas, and I loved it. I thought it was really good. I was like pulled in immediately, and I just wanted to follow along with this Murderbot character and like see where they went. I enjoyed their like inner monologue that they're going throughout the book, and it was just fun to like see how they think of humans and how they think of themselves, and just like how they interacted with the humans. I thought it was so comical. Murderbot is definitely like somebody that like I really enjoy as a character, and I want to read more of these books. So I'm giving this one a 4.5 out of 5. The only reason I'm not giving it a 5 is because I feel like if it was longer, I would have given it a 5. Like I wanted more in one book. I thought it was just over too quickly. So I would like more. I did really like how this book ended. I was wondering how it was going to end, and then it seemed to be going in one direction, but then something happened that like made it go in another direction, and I was happy about that. I liked that a lot. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading more Martha Wells books and see what else happens with Murderbot. And those are all the books that I read in May. So I successfully completed the readathon. I also want to say thank you to everybody that participated in the readathon, including my co-hosts. Thank you so much for helping me organize that readathon and have it running in like the Discord. And also thank you to everybody that came to our trivia. We had a Star Wars trivia to kind of like wrap up the readathon, and we raised $206, which is great because we set a goal for 200. So we went a little bit over, for the Starlight Children's Foundation, which is essentially a charity that brings entertainment to kids in hospitals. So like $10 donated to this charity gets like a kid like 10 hours of virtual reality time in the hospital. So it's really cool because it's bringing a smile to their faces when they're stuck somewhere where they don't want to be and they can't go anywhere. It's a nice charity, and we thought that it fit really well with Star Wars as a theme. So yeah. I just want to say thanks to everybody that came and donated. And now for today's independent bookstore shout out. Okay guys, so today's independent bookstore is for Otter Books in Nelson, British Columbia. And this is their website. So their website has like all the regular reels that you would see on most websites. What I really like about this one is that they have Otter picks. And so each person in the store that works there has their own reel of like different books that they would suggest for you to read. Ooh, Cricket likes Cruel Prince. So do I. Think we would get along, Cricket. Yeah, so they all have like different interests, and I think that's really cool, and I'm glad that they like showcase them on the site. It's just another way to be like more inclusive to your employees, so I think that's really cool. But yeah, definitely go check this shop out. They also have bargain books, so you can see all the books that are on sale for low prices. And yeah, they have a lot of options. So yeah, you can shop online, or you can actually go see them in Nelson, British Columbia, since the store is open. And that's it for the video, guys. If you want to support me, I have a Patreon and a Ko-fi page, which I'll put in the description down below, as well as a link to get my bookmarks. You guys know the drill. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification button so you get notified when I post new videos. I post my videos on Mondays and Thursdays. And until next time, keep on reading.